What's your deep web story? I saw a dog without any clothes on. That's right, a nude dog. The deep web is freaking disgusting. While I personally never received anything from any deep web affiliated Salus folk, I did live with a roommate who would constantly receive the strangest brochures. At first we'd receive brochures for like cruise lines and the like. I wrote it off as junk mail, but they came so frequently, and they started getting stranger. Christian mingle brochures, petting zoo brochures, brochures for any and all services one can think of. I kind of felt like someone was gaslighting me, but I never said anything and the brochures would disappear as quickly as they came, so I didn't have time to stress it. Until one day I walked in and my roommate was delicately cutting into a brochure and pulling out a small baggie of powder. Mother had hooked up with the most low-key dealer I'd ever seen. Obviously a throwaway. This is from way back, when SR1 was still going strong. I was looking for a certain substance, but couldn't find it in my part of the world for a decent price. Posted my request on the forum, and after a few days someone messages me with an offer. For some reason I accepted it and sent him around $200. Of course I got scammed. I didn't think much of it, but posted a warning to others about this guy, saying he scammed me out of $200. Few days later I get a message in my inbox saying something like this: "Hey, I am a vendor and this guy tried to scam me too. He just ordered an ounce of MDMA from me, and an ounce of sweet sugar crystals are on the way to his mailbox. Please send me your BTC address and I will send you the $200 he scammed you out of." The next day I had my $200 back and a deep respect for the dark web community. An ounce of sweet sugar crystals. Took me a while to figure out this wasn't drug jargon. Back when IQ was on its way out and P2P was in its infancy, I tried to download The Sims via a private FTP. The guy I downloaded from found a Trojan on my computer and walked me through how to remove it. I would take a bullet for that dude. Silk Road, circa 2013. Purchased what was promised as a mind-blowing experience. Received a dustbuster 2 days later. Strangely, no complaints on my end. There was a German man selling pretzels, just pretzels. I feel like this is a great way to add a layer of mystique to your product if you're a pretzel maker. Pretzels so good, they can't be sold in stores. Pretzels so good, they're listed alongside the experimental drugs. They said you could find anything you want on the deep web, but I was looking for Cher concert bootlegs and all I found were drugs. I took photos for several vendors on Silk Road in exchange for samples. I looked for bad product photos and I'd message them offering processional macro shots and logos. I was sent beautiful buds of great weed, a giant shard of crystal M, spent like 12 hours photographing that, and a few grams of H from various vendors. Was pretty awesome and surprising every time they agreed. Way freaking back in the day, beyond the terms of a statute of limitations, you used to be able to use Kazaa and Lemire and stuff to look at people's entire computers. Since they were stupid and set the entire computer to share, I used to send out an email a day to random people, pointing out that the pictures of them freaking their husband, wife, girlfriend, etc. and their social security number were freely available, along with instructions on how to uninstall Kazaa Lemire. Coming to college, the shared dorm networks were a gold mine. Noticed, uninstalled, never said anything to anyone. Uncharacteristic restraint. Looking back, I guess maybe it's no fun when it's that easy. DIY vasectomy kit on senior. It was a kit of weird dentist tool looking hooks and some tube thing. $20. I wouldn't have the balls to go through with this. The majority of these stories will all be the same, because they all come from people who downloaded Tor and went exploring or browsing. The vast majority have found the hidden wiki and clicked on some links. There is a fundamental misunderstanding here of what the dark web is designed to do. Those links from the hidden wiki and other point-and-click entry sites are designed to be found. The most obvious are the darknet markets. They want customers. They put their URLs out there. They list themselves on the wiki and other Tor directories. They don't want the sites to be hidden, just the owner's servers. If you were to go to one of the directories that crawls and links all the live URLs it can find, most of them will be listed as unknown. Some will take you to a site you can look at anyway, but a lot of them will take you to a page where it simply asks for your credentials before you can go any further. There's nothing else. No link to register, no frequently asked questions, No indication of what is behind that password login. The whole idea of Tor's hidden services is that they are hidden from anybody who doesn't have the credentials to get into them. You have to get them in some other way. There's no referral links being spammed on Reddit or the Intel Exchange or general access forums. Some of these sites may be safe havens for dissidents to discuss stuff. Some of them might be the dark spooky places of the non-lab stories. But chances are, none of us will ever know what is behind 99% of them. Goddammit, you just made all that secret illegal stuff sound so cool. Found someone selling a wish pill online. Basically you take the pill, make a wish and it's supposed to make it come true. It just made me laugh how much they were trying to sell it off as something real. They made up fake elements that were supposedly found in nature and showed videos of them making the pill, which was really just a bunch of blue lights being flashed at the screen. They were selling it for a $100 a pill. Sad thing is there were probably a few idiots who actually bought it. Joke's on you, pal. I bought the pill and now I can smell and color. Got bored about 4 years ago and wanted to see what I could find. Lots of tables with seemingly useless information. People selling drugs, people freaking animals, and vice versa. Found a few white supremacist sites and lots of cheese pizza. Honestly, it's not as exciting as a lot of people make it out to be. There are plenty of hitmen, but I am guessing 90% of them are cops or a scam. If you are looking to get arrested, there are child pornography links everywhere. A lot easier to find than I had expected, but I never actually looked at them. Plenty of drugs, some guns. There is plenty of snuff, but you can find snuff on Reddit, so it's not anything special. Overall, I wasn't looking to get arrested, so I didn't do anything besides browse the hidden wiki. Fun story, I used Tor in middle school to get past the websites that were blocked so I could play Congregate. You had to enable Flash for it to work because obviously you needed to play Flash games. But you aren't supposed to enable Flash on Tor because it allows you to be traced. I didn't really care though because I was only using it for Congregate. Yeah, the hitmen are comically overpriced. You can get a Sicario in Mexico for around $400 US. This was back before Google. Web pages were, for the most part, still very basic HTML with JavaScript. Hardly anyone used CSS. Only discussion boards and some banking sites had anything approaching mature front-end back-end combinations, etc. Early net, real deep web story, not just one about illicit activities online. I was browsing random blogs, GeoCities sites, and the like, just going from link to link. Eventually I came upon an odd page. It appeared to be random thoughts from different people, but for the time, it was very well designed. The messages seemed to be cryptic in nature, like several people trying to pass secret notes. I started through the source, and hidden in the comments of a JavaScript were various IP addresses. I gathered all of the IPs in a text file and began enumerating. Some were routers with banner messages I could telnet to, almost all at universities. Warning. This is a secure system at University of blah blah. The default Cisco credentials from back in the day worked on most of them, but I didn't poke around. A few of the IPs were web servers with little to nothing on them, mostly Apache on Linux or some BSD, at least one II server I can recall. I finally came upon a web server with a huge directory of HTML files and TIFF images, with a few smaller subdirectories containing the same. Lookup returned no reverse records for the IP. A visual route traced it as far as Colorado. The HTML files appeared to be records a psychologist or similar mental health professional would keep. The images were of faxes, apparently of both military and medical nature. As I browsed from a subdirectory back to the parent, at the top of was a new HTML file named something like one hello there HTML. The timestamp was from right that minute. I opened it, and in plain text was the message "we see you." No quotes, all lowercase. About 15 seconds later the server dropped. This is like a super nerdy, geeky short horror story that one might tell around a campfire at a LAN party. Got it at a friend's urging. Was on it for a while until I stumbled onto a site dedicated to random animal facts. It had no design or anything. It was just black text on a white background listing off animal factoids. I was on it for a good 30 minutes before going the frick am I doing and uninstalled Tor. When the drugs arrive and you look in the mail and the only thing going through your head is holy crap, I can't believe there are drugs in my mailbox that someone shipped me. It's a high in and of itself. I like the FedEx guy, cause he is a drug dealer and he don't even know it. And he's always on time. Mitch Hedberg. One day, I entered one of the deep websites and found a lot of ebooks. The end. I was 19 and wanted to buy a fake id, but found out that you had to buy bitcoins and I didn't feel like figuring it out, so I gave up. This was maybe a year or so before bitcoins blew up. I could be living on the moon right now, but I didn't feel like it. It's okay man, you didn't know. Saw this thread, got curious and downloaded Tor. After 30 minutes of disappointment because I didn't find anything too fricked up, went to a chat with random people site. Got paired with a guy who saw this thread and did the same thing I did. 5/10 would maybe deep surf again. I decided to check out one of the successor sites soon after the Silk Road was busted. They had 2 or 3 crappy looking guns for several $1,000s a piece, some weed, and a metric crap load of weird research drugs. I was hoping to see things I might recognize like C or H or LSD, but instead I got random mixes of letters and numbers in various pills or powders. It was a lot less exciting than I thought it would be. There's still plenty of C, H, and LSD on the darknets. There's still even a lot of the original vendors from SR1. If one site goes down they just move to the next one. I went to the wiki, saw a lot of Captain Planet, saw a lot of drugs, browsed some fricked up forums. There's also Deep Web 4chan and Reddit, but it's pretty dead and Deep Web chan is mostly cheese pizza. Captain Planet equals cheese pizza. Slow as frick, lots of drugs, lots of members only password protected crap, snuff, gore, $20,000 hitmen, and far too fricking many Lolita jailbait links on the hidden wiki, at which point I closed it because I really have no desire to see that crap, ever. Uninstalled. Downloaded Tor, went to the hidden wiki, went to the Silk Road, wasn't interested in drugs, found a saxophone, was just a saxophone, found a template for counterfeiting Gucci products, considered selling Gucci products, found counterfeit medical degrees, considered buying one for 999 Bitcoin, realized that was over $50,000, logged off, should have bought Bitcoin back then, would be worth a lot now. Could have been a doctor. I'm ashamed of this, but when I was 13, I wanted to jack it to other 13-year-olds, so I went looking on the dark web. I was expecting naked teenagers, not toddlers getting fricked by adults. I freaking hated myself for weeks and couldn't really do pee for a year after that. Found a guy selling carrots, like, it wasn't code for anything, he was literally just selling carrots for Bitcoin. 10/10 would visit again. I'm just imagining him shrink wrapping and discreetly shipping like a pound of carrots. I was a part of the No Love Deep Web alternate reality game where we had to do a deepnet scavenger hunt, which culminated in me driving to New York to answer a payphone at 3 AM. That was cool. I once found a forum dedicated to sharing recordings of the automated messages that tell you the next stop on trains. People would post the recordings that they presumably made themselves and then they would discuss them. It haunts me to this day. I have so many questions. Went in with good friend out of curiosity. Download Tor on my computer. Go to hidden wiki. He clicks random link. Land on a landing home page for website. Images I'd rather not discuss. Close browser. Uninstalled Tor. Changed IP address. The end. Boring sites in different languages. Hitman drugs open market. Cheese pizza everywhere. Not worth it though. The deep web is more urban legend than anything. You have been visited by the money cat like for good luck and fortune. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.